At Van Beeks, we want to make sure that you get the most out of your firewood. So in order to make sure that it's dry, clean, and ready to burn, we're going to talk about a couple things you should do to make sure you're storing your firewood correctly. It's really important to make sure that you've got your firewood elevated off the ground. We want to make sure we're not transferring any of the moisture or dampness from the earth or the garage floor up into the firewood. That could cause rot or mold. So what we want to do is make sure we're either putting it up on some skids or pallets, or often people will build like a wood frame that looks very similar to what we've got here in our concrete blocks, and that'll just keep it up off the ground. So the next step to maintaining your firewood or be able to have the best fires you possibly can all winter is to make sure you cover it. We only want to cover the top of it. We want to leave the sides open so they can get well ventilated, and we can make sure that we've got great air circulation. The reason for the covering the top is just to keep the outside moisture off. So we want to keep the snow and the rain, which of course in Canadian winters we never really know what we're going to get. So we want to keep that off the top of our firewood, and then that way it just allows it to continue to dry out, which will just mean a better burning experience for you. So the last thing that we want to consider when storing our firewood is the location of that firewood. So it's great to have it in a sunny location if you're keeping it outdoors, or inside in a garage would be another great location. What we want is to make sure, again, it's well ventilated. We want to make sure there's no moisture buildup. And then we also want to consider what happens to this space in the winter or the coming months if you continue to have firewood for the rest of the year. Is it a place that floods or gets moisture frequently? If so, we want to find another place for that that's a little bit higher elevated or drier.